Hello, everyone. We're about to get started here. We're just waiting for anyone else who might be joining, so just be patient. I know a couple of you guys have attended Zoom classes with us before, so you kind of know the drill. But I just ask that you guys keep yourself on mute so we can eliminate background noises so we can really focus on the lecture. And if you have a question, just type it into the chat and we will get to it. So yeah, if you guys can just put yourselves on mute so we don't have a lot of background noise. Okay, and we'll go ahead and get started here. Thank you everyone for coming and attending our Zoom class. We know how valuable your time is, so welcome everyone.
Yep, welcome. My name's Kelly Anderson.
I'm Julia.
And we are the owners of California Skincare Supply. We are a 3-generation female family-owned business, which I started with my mom in 1990. And fast forward 30 years later, we're here and I work full-time with my daughter, Julia, traveling the country. We now distribute over 40 professional skincare brands and wax. We love and feel very loyal to all of our brands. And we only choose the best brands on the market, which brings us to our class today on Naturaverde. I fell in love with this wax. I had a meeting, was introduced to the wax, and I was so impressed with its elegant texture, just how effective and results oriented, and its affordability. And I agreed straight off to become the Naturaverde distributor because that's how much I loved the wax. You'll see in this class how easy it is to use and how versatile, and why those things plus its affordability make it perfect for your spa and the revenue for your business. That being said, I'm going to turn you over to Marco Navarro, who is the director of sales, and you'll love him. Super great guy. And thank you for joining us, Marco, and thank you for joining us, everybody else. Oh, another thing, and we'll get back to this, but we did set up a discount for all of you. In your waxing kit, you had a welcome letter from us. The code is on there. It's just wax off. When you place, it's for the entire line, and that sale will happen through Friday at midnight, and you can just place your order, and at the end, it'll say enter in your discount code. You can just put in wax off and
get your
15%
discount.
So thanks for joining us. Sorry about that, Marco. Take it away.
Not a problem. Thanks for everybody being here. Certainly appreciate it. I am probably the most excited of the whole group, being that you're going to see my excitement and passion as this goes on. But I'm very excited to see our educator, Marge, who is a legend with all the other educators that I've worked with, and a legend with Naturaverde and our founder, which I'm going to touch on in a moment. So I'm just can't wait to see Marge in action. Yeah, right, Marge? Oh, she's muted. Okay. So anyhow,
thanks, Marco. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Marge. So I'm going to go through a PowerPoint, and I am hopefully not going to be the usual PowerPoint kind of presentation. It's a lot of pictures, me talking Northeast fast, without boring you and saying the occasional funny thing that hopefully, as I can already tell, Kelly and Julia are smiling and laughing and going, ha, 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 as is Marge. Oh, look, she's taking pictures already. Oh, my goodness. Hi. Okay, Naturaverde, an Italian company, and I'm going to say it again, and Kelly did such a great job saying it, Naturaverde, which actually means naturally green, and PRO being the professional division. We are, what happened? Now it's like not working. Well, we're going to go here. There we go. We are a big international company based out of Italy. And as you can see here, there's a variety of companies from health food, Diamond International, which is fragrances, pharmaceutical. Naturaverde in Italy is a whole collection of items that cosmetic, skincare, a variety of stuff. Obviously us, Sodico USA. Then we have our Swiss laboratories for sun care. and Union Cosmetics, which is a cosmetic line. And if all goes well, these are things that are going to slowly be coming here to America. And what's really weird is my screen is not, okay, I got to tap on there. What is happening? Okay, these are the other companies that are part of it that we talked about. And here we have Ducati, which is a fragrance line. We also have Jeep. Everybody knows Jeep, but right now that's just in Europe, and hopefully it's going to come to America. We also have Disney Baby. That's right, Disney Baby, a variety of things that we do. So the point being is that we're a big company that's been around for 30 plus years doing stuff in Italy, in Europe, and having lots of success. And now we're bringing it here to America. And here's a great picture of our manufacturing plant that I was actually fortunate enough to go there with our founder, Susanna DeSoto, which I will talk about a little bit more in a second. And you can see, you can like eat off the floor in this place. And what's really cool, that this picture that I took, there's no flash and there's very little lighting, because that lighting is coming from all these skylights that are up in the place. It's very cool how they built this building to be naturally green, in the sense of trying to do everything they can right for the planet. And this is what we call Naturaverde Village. And every once in a while, there we go. So now we're going to talk about Naturaverde. The innovative formulas came from Susanna. As you can see, Susanna is this person in the corner. Some of you might know who Susanna is. And she was the person that really developed Satin Smooth at Conair, and that's how we met. And then with Satin Smooth, things have changed and progressed, as you know. And Susanna with the Italian said, let's start our brand in America. And then sadly, Susanna suddenly passed away last year. So we are continuing her dream to be a superior product, and making sure we're getting in the right hands of professionals, just like we are with California Skincare. All the stuff that you'll be happy to know, FDA compliant, dermatology tested, the manufacturing plant that the picture I just showed you has gotten all the certifications. And then you go, well, okay, Marco, that's nice, but why Naturaverde PRO anyhow? I'm an esthetician. I don't care about all this other stuff. Well, hopefully this is what you're going to care about. First off, it's Italian, just like me. And I'm very biased. There's two kinds of people in the world, Italians and people that wish they were Italian. Ha, ha, ha. But Italians and Italy in general, as you know, depending if you're in the fashion business, the beauty business, a very big driver of what goes on in the healthcare field of beauty. Another great thing about our wax, that's the international sign for low temperature. It's a wax that melts at a low temperature, stays melted at a low temperature. And obviously, you know, there's all kinds of benefits of being there, of being a low temperature wax, just starting with client comfort. We're performance driven. This is something that I know that Marge is going to be talking about, and you as estheticians find that very important. It goes on thin, goes on smooth, and stays pliable. We were just talking about this earlier with Julia, who had mentioned you can make a really long strip and it stays pliable and it doesn't break, it doesn't get hard. It sets up right, but does not get hard so that it breaks on you. So very performance driven. And with all that being said, it's at a fair price, reasonably priced product. We're not the most expensive, we're not the least expensive. We're in the middle, but a great performance product. So now we're going to talk about the waxes real quickly. We have soft waxes, 5 different soft waxes. Everybody has a honey wax. So there's our honey wax with vitamin E for medium to coarse hair. Pink wax is one of our most popular waxes, especially for brow artists. Lots of brow artists seem to use a lot of soft wax. There are ones that use a hard wax, but the pink cream wax is our most popular with the brow artists. And if you're concerned about sensitivity, you have the zinc oxide. Just recently, we posted on our Instagram, Cardi B uses our pink cream. That's right, I said Cardi B. Oh my gosh, Cardi B. Great. I'm not going to sing any songs, not going to do that, okay? But Cardi B has sensitive skin, but she was fine with the pink, which is pretty cool stuff. Then we have the lavender wax. So if you like a thicker wax. Lavender Wax is an awesome thicker wax. We actually have an account up in Chicago. For those of you that might be aware, Tricoci is a large chain of spas and salons in the Chicagoland area, and they love the lavender. Then we have the pomegranate, which is kind of for sensitive skin too. And what makes it special, it has this chamomile oil in it. Then we have hard waxes. There's 3 hard waxes. They come in bags and in cans. This would be our #1 wax. It is, if you had to pick one wax out of all the waxes that does everything, this would probably be that wax. A hard wax that goes on thin, smooth, stays pliable at an economical price. And I saw Margaret nodding her head, agreeing that yes, the gold wax, that would be the way to go for one wax if you're picking one. But you don't want one, you want several, not just one, right? Okay.
Right.
Then we have a blue wax. I'm sorry, Marge?
I want them all.
Yeah, well, I know you have them all. How about that? The blue wax is similar to other blue waxes without naming brands. However, as we've already talked about, what's cool about the blue wax is it stays pliable. It's a pliable wax that you're going to, if you like blue wax and you've used blue wax and you're like, I want to try something different that's even more impressive, our Blue Flex hard wax. And then we have Keratite. So here's where my French comes in. Comment se dit le mot chez en français? Which, if you speak French, means how do you say the word chez in French? Guess how? Keratite. So it's a shea butter wax. Then we have roll-ons. We just recently came out with the roll-on warmers that'll be available through California Skincare soon. However, we have 4 different flavors: the tea tree, the deluxe pink, the honey, and the pomegranate. All soft waxes, great performance, and the economy on it is unbelievable. Then we have pre and post care, 3 lines, three items, I'm sorry, and very simple, very easy. You have the cleanse, which is an organic micellar water, and organic, it's like 98% organic, but it's an amazing cleanse and awesome makeup remover. If there's one thing that you just want, just because you don't even use wax, you can use the cleanse to take your makeup off and to cleanse your skin. Then we have this Nourish that is also unbelievable, that how people like it. You could use this pre and post. Marge will probably show us on this that what's amazing is you don't need very much, and it gets absorbed into the skin like right away. I live in Florida. I haven't been to the beach in a while, but this is an awesome thing to use after the beach, how it hydrates the skin without leaving my skin oily. The other thing I use after going to the beach is Soothe. What makes Soothe cool is it is aloe vera, and most aloe vera products are a gel. Gels stay on top of the skin. This is a lotion, so it gets absorbed into the skin. So that's what makes that very cool. Naturaverde PRO from Italy, Naturaverde PRO. We want you to live your best life with Naturaverde. I'm done. How about that? Yay! All right, we're going to stop sharing my screen.
Perfect. And now we're going to get into the demo. So Marge is going to take it away.
Okay.
If you guys go to speaker view, then you're going to be able to see her a little bit larger. So that's going to be what you want to do. Press speaker view. So she has the main screen.
She needs to come back though.
Just getting everything ready, I assume.
That's right. She's doing a magic show.
Right now.
And then again, if you have questions, you can just type them into the chat. You can also raise your hand in the more option, and we can get to you that way. And as you know, this is going to be a male facial beard wax.
Okay. Am I on? Good?
Yep.
You're on.
Yay.
Just say.
Okay, we were switching screens. Sorry for that, but this is Clayton. This is our model for today. He's going to be our male model, and we're going to start. And thanks, Marco, for covering all the product. I just wanted to show you my little setup that I had ready to do all of that for you.
Fantastic.
Isn't that great?
You are fantastic.
Well,
I'm
except for
telling
the top.
you.
Okay. So anyways, I'm glad he was able to go through that for me. And so you got just an introduction to all of the product. Today we're gonna work on male beard and facial waxing. So we're gonna do all of this part right here. We're gonna wax all of that off. We're gonna do his ears, his nose, his eyebrows, his forehead. We're gonna do his underneath his neck right here and the back of his neck. So the first thing I want to tell everybody, let me get my gloves here, is that you need to fill out a, well, for me, it was a model release form. Otherwise, you need a client card, because at the bottom of those client cards is a very important thing. It's the legal stuff. And then on the back is the formula that you're going to use. So always keep good notes, write your price down, and make sure your legal stuff is all signed before starting. So what we're going to start with today is some just simple stuff first. So on the face, we need an 1/8 of an inch of hair. So, and you can see he has that now. On the body, we need a 1/4 of an inch. So if we were doing his arms, we would maybe want to trim this back a little bit, but a 1/4, no longer than a 1/2 inch. So today it's an 1/8 of an inch of hair on the face. And there are 5 questions that you want to ask when you're working with the nose, and more if you have more that you're concerned about. But for me, it's whether or not you have a piercing. And I see he has no piercing. Are you on blood thinners?
No.
Have you been sick in the last 2 weeks?
No.
And are you prone to nosebleeds?
No.
Okay. And then the other things that you're going to ask are you in an allergy season?
No.
And then rhinoplasty, you need to find out if they have that. And if so, you're not really going to want to wax that within a certain length of time past the surgery. Okay. And then, so then if he doesn't smoke more than 2 packs a day. So those are some questions that are really important for nose waxing. If they answer yes to any of those questions, you will not want to wax the nose. Okay, you don't want to get that faucet going in front of your spa. And so we're going to get started. I think we're going to start with the nose waxing just because we need him setting up in order to do that. So what I like to do is I like to take our Nourish. I don't know if you can see that good.
Excellent.
Okay, and we're going to put just, oh, that's a lot, but I'm going to use it on my applicator and also on his mustache. Okay, so I'll take and apply this to your applicator. This keeps it from sticking to the hair that you want to keep. Okay, and then we're just going to apply that right to where we don't want it to pick up any of the hair. Now, I used an awful lot. It just really does take a little teeny drop. So go back and just pick up whatever you don't want across the lip. But it's better to have a little bit more than not enough and have that stick to the hair that you want to keep. So then once we get this all together, then what you're going to do is you're going to have your client, just please, tell me again how you're brushing. I got it right. Place it just in that particular spot, just so that you can get it in, the wax in. Now, you never want to wax a nose with them laying down. You always want them setting up. And you never want to go in any further than this, because from here down are junk collectors, from here up are filtrations that they need. So you're always going to want to stay right here. Okay, don't go above that. All right, so we are going to take our beautiful Golden Flex wax. I'm going to get that. I'm going to move, okay, because we had Mike move back here a little bit further. And you're going to make just a round ball. I don't know if you can see, kind of about that big. And you don't want it to be thin, but you kind of want it to be round, and you need to judge it from the hole. So you're going to lift up. I'll do it on the side and place it right in the hole. Don't go past here. Give it a little squeeze. Bring it forward to catch all the hairs that are in that area. Ask them to let go of the applicator, and then just put the applicator on that so it does kind of work as a barrier between the hair there. And then you can go on to the next thing that needs to be waxed. And if there are any questions, you can definitely let me know. All right, so while we have our client setting up, you're going to make another small ball. This one is on our small applicator. This is our large and this is our small. Never do the large go in the nose holes or any other hole on the face. They're just used as a guide, basically, to hold the applicator where it's at. Okay, and then we're going to come over here to the side of the ear. Okay, and this is where we're going to place the ball. Okay, you want to place it just right here. You see how that just sets in there? And you can do this while the other one sets up by the nose. So you're not really wasting time. You're just moving right on to the next thing. This is to remove the hair from out of the ear. Again, I'm going to use the Gold Flex Hard Wax because it is for fine, coarse hair, sensitive skin, and delicate areas. Okay, so we'll to this side. I'll have you turn your head this way for me. And we're going to set that very carefully right in that spot right there. Never put it down into the canal, just always leave it out right there. Now, this is where we come back and we check this to see if it's ready, and it is ready. Now, I like to have my clients stand up. So I'll actually just stand up for me. You either want to be standing on the side so that you can get a big full pull, or you're going to stand in front so that you can get a straight off pull. I like to stand from the side and then just get ready to kind of grip his nose so that you can get, a feel for that. So we're going to get a big pull, give it a little squeeze like that. And wow, look at the end results.
Holy cow.
Yeah, nice removal. I can guarantee you that this hurts less than pulling one hair out of your nose. Would you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, totally. It's awesome. So anyways, we'll have you step back up here for me. Always have them setting. You never want to have them laying down. Okay. We're going to have you hold it on this side now for me. And then you're just going to pull up a little bit, place it, don't go past that. Give it a little push and squeeze, and then he can just let go of the applicator. Give it just a moment to set right up. And now we're good. Now, I would like to move over here to this ear and show you this right here is called the trachea. Okay, that is super important to hold and put a little pressure, because when you are pulling straight out, I want you to pull straight out. You do not want to cause any extra pressure on that, because you could tear the skin, especially in our older gentlemen who have quite the ear, wax the ear hair to remove. Wow. I don't know. He doesn't have very hairy ears, but there is some hair there. Another thing that I want to show you also in the men's waxing. let's say his ears are hairy. A lot of men have hair right up here on the top of their ear. Very easily can you move this down and clean that up. Let's say he has it all the way down, clear to the bottom of his ear. You can definitely take that off, create yourself a little tab that you'll pull, right like that. It doesn't take very long for this to set right up. I like that it's really super flexible and you can pull that right off. And it works wonderful. Do you see the little hairs?
Wow.
On that. Okay, so we're going to come over here to the other ear. Where I did get a little bit messy. So you're going to hold the trachea in its spot and just give it a nice good pull. And then this is where you're going to really see the hair. Trying to get the right angle for that one.
That's amazing, Marge.
Yeah, isn't that perfect? And look at all this hair here that was down on his lobe.
And
So,
I have a question for you and your client. Has he done this before?
never.
Oh, and you're not feeling any pain there, buddy.
No, sir.
You look cute though.
Doesn't he? LaSonia gave him the blue hair. He loves it. He's gonna come back and get some more.
I love it. And by the way, Marge is near Kansas City, Missouri. She's actually in Warrensburg, but Kansas City, Missouri is the major town near her, for those of you that might be curious of where she's at.
Look how flexible this is. Woo! So you can pull and pull on that and it just stays nice and flexible. Creating a tab right there. All right, so while that is it just only takes a minute to set that up. Now, I'm not worried about this getting too hard to pull out because it is so flexible. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off of the ear, just in case you get those ones that have, you know, the hair growing up everywhere around the ear. You don't want to miss out on an opportunity to make a little bit of money right there. Now, I will say that you're going to want to use the shiny side to go back and pick up the piece of wax that was left behind, because shiny side to shiny side will remove it. All right, so now we're going to have you stand up for me. And you want to brace them with your hand because sometimes they're a little nervous about it and you don't want them to lose their balance. So you're going to pull from there, give it a little squeeze, and amazing results.
Oh, it's amazing. Wow.
Look at that. I really love this. You want a paintbrush? We got an extra one here. He's like, no thanks. I don't want it.
It took a half a second for me to understand.
That's okay. All right, now we're going to have him come over here to this side. And if you want, you can probably sit on this side. You don't want to sit down on the back. You just kind of want to get, there you go. And then your head, we're going to have you place your head right here. No, all the way, like you're going to lay down and take a nap on your back. Yeah, come up on the pillow. That's comfortable. There we go. All right, here we are. Let me get my light situated. Is there any questions about the nose wax or the ear wax and about how you should hold the tracheas or the questions you need to ask?
Yeah, I have a question. It's you said before it's like any have like allergy or something allergy or something like any other issue. So that case, like what we doing? It's like they say, oh, okay, I have allergy. So that period is we doing like waxing or not?
Okay, so that's a great question. So let's say they have fall allergies, but they come in the spring to get waxed. That is fine. You can wax as long as they're not in their season for the allergy. But let's say he had an allergy to, around here, the dogwood trees are in bloom. and he had a runny nose, or he was sneezing or coughing or any of those things. You don't want to remove those filters in their season. So if they have year-round allergies, then there'd be no nose waxing. If they have spring season waxing, spring allergies, you can wax them in the fall and in the summer and the winter, just not when they have the allergies. But if they have year-round, no waxing in the nose because they need that extra filtration. Good question.
Yeah,
Any
thank you.
others?
Yeah. Sorry, say again what you say?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, you said something, right?
I said, is there any other question?
No, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Everybody down.
Great info, Marge. Great info.
And remember, you guys, if you have questions throughout, you can always just put them in the chat and then I can tell Marge as well. So just keep that in mind.
Okay, so
Julia.
next we're going to be using our cleanse. This is our micellar water, okay? It has olive extract and aloe vera. You've heard all of the presentation from Marco earlier. I really love this because you can take off makeup, you can remove dirt, and it works great at prepping the skin for your waxing. I like to do the whole face, kind of cleanse and get it ready for the waxing. We previously discussed what he would like to have waxed and what he wouldn't like to have waxed. I'm just going to take a little bit of the oil off where we have put oils earlier. We're going to wax his forehead and his eyebrows.
And Marge, has he done this beard waxing with
he
you?
never has. Nope, he's a virgin waxer, this guy.
Does he know the advantages of why the beard waxing, what the advantages of that are?
Well, the advantages for him will be that he won't have to shave every day. He grew this out, literally, this is less than a week for him. And so the advantages is not having to shave every day or every week. He can come back in 4 weeks and have it done again and have nice, smooth skin. And some people have where they'll get like a breakout from shaving and then that they don't want to do it as often. This is a whole nother ball game when it comes to that.
Excellent. Excellent.
Then I'll also show you how to wax the back of his neck in this as well. But I'm sure that you guys want me to get busy with the waxing of the face and the beard. So we'll move on to that. And if there's any questions at any time, just feel free to ask me. All right, so I will be using our Naturaverde Petite applicator for the wax. First, I am going to use what's in your kit. You saw the gold in action with the nose and the ears, but now I'm going to show you this beautiful pink cream wax. I love it. It's just glides. It's such a smooth application. It's for normal to dry skin, and my client has some dry skin, and I'm going to use that on him. We're not going to give him too girly of a look because that's not what he wants, but we're going to definitely clean him up. So I'm going to start with this application, but we're going to talk about placement because I feel like it's super important for everybody to understand placement too. And then, you know, how the difference is between men who are getting waxed and women who obviously are getting waxed. They're definitely different because, you know, women, we want a great big arch, but men not necessarily all of the time do they want a big arch. So when I'm working with somebody, I always like to keep in mind this. This is point A, this is point B, and this is C right here. So ABCs, we're gonna work on that. You always wanna pull up at the B because it's the center of the eye. A lot of times when you're working with your face, you wanna know where your placement is, you know, so you're gonna start at the edge and you know that you're gonna take it from the corner. So you don't want anything from there down, and then keep your eye open for me. From here to the center is where we would arch. So that's our B mark. naturally you pull up there, you're gonna find where your natural arch is. We don't want to arch them in too much unless they ask us for it, because some do. And then from the edge of the nose, we like to, and then everything from here out and over needs to be clean, cleaned out. Now, some people like that method, and then there's the other people who like this sort of method where you're measuring and getting precise measurements. Now, that's great. Not all men like that. So we're going to be more on the rugged side for him. He does have coarse hair, so I'm going to use our Naturaverde Muslin. I always like to use the center of the strip because that's where it's strongest. When I'm placing, I like to cover the whole thing. Do not do the back and forth rub because that causes friction. And you don't want to break any of those hairs off. You want to either pat like so or in the direction that the hair is growing. You always want to stand where the hair is growing toward you, and you want to remove against. I like to use my middle finger and my thumb to pull the skin taut. I like to punch it off, and with my index finger right here, I apply pressure.
Wow.
See how nice? And he didn't even flinch. He did an excellent job. Go back, pick up any unwanted. Now with some men, you will have to trim the brow. Find my spoolie. Some trim before, some trim after, but he does not need any trimming because he doesn't have like the long hairs. He's still young yet. So he doesn't have any hairs like Marco might have.
Thank you. You're absolutely correct. Every morning when I get up, first thing I do.
Get those eyebrows like lined out.
That's right. And I trimmed them just earlier today for this video.
So now the thing is I'm going to tell you about the pink cream wax is I can tell where I was, and I want to go back and just streamline it just a little bit more. Like so. Now, if I were missing some all the way across his eyebrow, then I would go in with the hard wax, our golden flex hard wax, and pick up those. Just be careful not to wax over an area that's been waxed before. Let's see, yeah, beautiful. So then I like to kind of split the center of the midsection down. And you can see I'm going to use strip on one side, and then I'll use the hard wax on the other. I'm just going to clean this inner area up for him. Men definitely want to have all their hair cleaned up, especially nowadays. I'm going to take the strip that I had before, and since it's in the middle and I only need a small portion of it, still using the middle part, we'll pull and then apply pressure. Look at that. Very well done.
Wow.
And then I would like to just move on the outside. Like so. Just so that you're not getting it in the brow itself. Now let's talk about scars. Marco, here's a great, guys, this is a great example. Now I can tell that this scar is old, it's not new. But you don't really want to wax over scars. So he has one kind of embedded in his eye right here. You want to be careful about waxing that because the skin is thinner and compromised there. So in that that situation, you would only want to use like hard wax if you had to go that way, but we don't have to go all the way down into that. But don't wax over scars.
Great point. Wow. Fantastic.
You don't want to wax over those scars because the tissue is already compromised and a little bit thinner, and you don't want to damage the tissue. So I always say it's, you know, better not to, if it's in a spot that they absolutely have to have waxed or want waxing, and it's kind of up to you as a professional. I would only use hard wax in that area, but I would try to convince them not to. Okay. So I'm going to kind of work, like cut him down the middle and work from side to side. Just because I'm already on this side, and why waste time going back and forth? So I'm going to get into our gold flex hard wax here. And I'm going to create a consistent look for him. Because if we've waxed, I know you can see the little bit of the dry gray scale skin that's left behind, where the eyebrows look real nice and fresh. So I'll put the majority on with the big applicator, the large one. Then I'll make myself a tab, and then I'll go back in with the smaller. With the small, just so that I can have better control over it. Now this is for the fellows that want that straight, real clean, crisp line. So you can kind of see where his barber has done the work. So you can go in here and develop just a really clean, crisp line by following that outline and creating a longer lasting one for him with wax than the razor does. And I'm just going to marry those two together. Shiny side to shiny side there. Don't worry about these little pieces. They don't stick. They've already, you know, hardened to the point of not sticking to the hair. This is just going to give him a nice clean look so that he'll match his eyebrow above it. And then now see how clean his outline is here?
Very clean.
Look at that, very sharp line. And so he said to me, hey, Marge, I would like everything cleaned off from here down. So that's where we're going to work. So we've got the brow kind of cleaned up now, and his hairline, they usually go in and razor some of this off. So I'm gonna go in just a little closer to his hairline here. Any questions?
Marge, I have a statement, or hopefully you can clarify, because I have learned there are lots of estheticians that don't do the tab like you did.
Right.
What is the advantage of doing that tab?
Okay, so the advantage to doing the tab is so that you are not picking at the skin to lift the hair in pain without pulling it. Do you see what I'm saying? You can't lift that up picking at it, which I feel like is super unprofessional anyways. Not for every, you know, I mean, it depends on what you want to do, but for me, I feel like it's painless to do it this way versus trying to get it off the skin when there might be hair there. It's more painful. I don't know, did I answer your?
No, yeah, you did. I mean, at least for me, because again, this is what I've learned from watching you, speaking with you and others, but I am surprised, and it'd be interesting to see what Kelly and Julia say. I am surprised at the amount of people that don't do a tab and then are surprised when they see you doing a tab.
Oh, okay. Well, and the benefit is that you're not pulling hair. I think it looks more professional. And I think the
Great.
client is much more pleased with the outcome because it didn't hurt.
Yeah, I think that is superior, more of a unique way to go about it. I do see a lot of estheticians doing the pick, like they kind of
Right.
form a lip and then they do a pick to get it off. This just seems like a easier way to go about that. So I love that.
Definitely, definitely.
And we
A
did
little-
get a question in the chat. What's the advantage of doing the hairline with hard wax versus soft wax?
Well, okay, so here's what I'm going to say to that. Now you can get control of the hard wax. Sometimes the control is learned. But strip wax can do it, but you will find in your male clientele that they like the hard wax. And if you ask them the difference between the strip wax here and the hard wax, which one hurts less?
Both of them do it.
Both of them didn't hurt to him, but some will tell you that it's less painful to have the hard wax.
Okay. All right.
I did,
He's a tough
yeah,
guy. He's a tough guy.
yeah, he is a tough guy.
Yeah, he's doing great for his first wax as well. Oh yeah, that's so good.
Oh, yes, he's doing awesome. Now look how
That's-
clean that is.
Wow. Wow.
Now, I like to, I like to contour with my wax. So if I were contouring a very clean line, I would come in here and contour that. Now, I'll do that for you with the strip wax, just so he can have an idea of what it might feel like. When I'm doing a clean line and I'm trying to create something that's very straight and sharp, I'll use the edge of the applicator to kind of draw my line in. You see how I'm doing that?
Hadley needs to get in a little closer. Your hand is blocking the.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'll go in with the edge and I'll draw my line. And then I'll come back and fill it with the regular side. You see that?
Yep.
Okay, so then what the difference is just mainly what you prefer and control. Do you see the difference?
Yep. And any difference in using the muslin compared to the non-woven?
Well, the difference is, for me, his hair is coarse. And so if I'm using the non-woven, the likelihood of it possibly breaking the hair off or not getting it all, that's why I didn't choose this one. I chose this because the woven is stronger. It allows the wax to get into the fibers, which gives you an actual better pull.
Very good.
So we can try it to see what the difference is. If you like to see that on a different part of his, his face here, no problem demonstrating that. I can also demonstrate the difference between like the blue flex. So let's try a little bit of the blue flex, shall we?
Yes, let's.
Okay. I really love the gold because it's very versatile, but we will use this just so you can see. I'll bring it down. Now, if a person is not, say, I don't want to use a tab, then you need to bring the product all the way, have the get in close here. You need to bring the product all the way into where there is no hair. You see here? No hair. And then if you wanted to do that, you could lift that edge up where there isn't any hair. Did that hurt? No. But if you're getting into the works of the hair, I prefer to have a tab because, like I said, I feel like it's more professional. It isn't as painful for them. You can just pull it off, shiny side to shiny side, and then right off, and then look at that.
Wow. Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah. How was that for you?
Yeah,
It didn't hurt
just down below.
a stick. It stings. You're probably you got anywhere from a 10-second to a 60-second sting. Applying pressure will help that. Now, what I noticed is that it left for me 1 or 2 little hairs that I'm going to have to go back and probably get. But his is curly and it could be under the skin. If it doesn't pick it up, usually I find it is under the skin a bit. And those you'll have to go back and use your tweezers. Let me see if that's the case.
And doing the beard waxing also would help with ingrown hairs, I think, correct?
Yes, and that's what I'm trying to tell you, that it's laid down possibly. Yeah, it was in the skin right here at the top. So we'll go back and we'll pick that back up with the next bunch. But the blue works nicely as well. Now, we can't underestimate the keratite. It does have its use. So the keratite, flex, hard wax. I may not be pronouncing that in Italian, but we're going to give that a little
Keratite.
Keratite.
Right,
Okay.
Julia?
The keratite. Well, it has its great use. I love to use it over the top of the nose. One, it helps to clear out the pores. It gets all of those little flourished hairs that are just residing right there. You can use the tab from before. So if you forgot to make a tab, you can use that. I'll put that on a little too much. And then if I've missed anything at the top, that's where I bring this back and grab anything that may have been missed there and work that into this. And that will get all of those little hairs. Okay, close your eyes. And you're just gonna wait till it's not tacky. And off it comes in one full pull. And look at that.
That's
I don't know if you
amazing.
can look at all the hair that was on his cheek and
Yeah.
across his nose. See, this is where his nose was right here. And there
Yeah,
are a
it's
lot of blackheads in there. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And
So
we did
it's great for exfoliation as well.
we did get a question, how long after a full facial wax that you can do like a regular chemical peel or your standard facial? How long should you wait after a full facial wax?
Well, I would like to say 3 weeks.
Okay.
But 72 hours, definitely.
Okay.
Depends on what kind you're doing, of course.
It looks like Rhonda's taking lots of notes. Rhonda, are you taking lots of notes? Excellent.
All right, so we're going to continue to work down into the beard area here. Now, the reason why I'm taking smaller sections is because his hair is very coarse. And the more coarse density that you have, the smaller section that you'll want to take. Now, for him, it's just coarse, not super dense. I did have a model earlier this morning that did have a lot of dense hair. And if I can get the video set up, maybe Markle can share it with you. Share that. Now, if you pull it too soon, it's not a great experience for them, just because I feel like you want to get it all in one punch. So making sure that you get that all in one punch is important. And look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow. Oh,
And then look at his skin. Get a close up of his skin. Really clean.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. he does have tattooing, and I asked him how he thought he would do with this. And he said, ma'am, I got, what kind of tattoo was it?
Because
Well, he,
people
pick poke. He got a pick poke tattoo, which is way more painful than this. So he's a pretty tough guy here.
And we got a question, are you using the Keratite, gold wax, and blue wax just to show that they can all be used and how they work, or do you usually use all three in a wax?
Well, that's a good question, because on one wax, I may use all three, because what it depends on is the type of hair, the type of skin that I'm dealing with. If I feel like the gold wax is doing good, but it's not getting the super fine ones, then I will switch to the Keratite. What did it?
Keratite.
Keratite. I will switch to the Keratite and use that. It just depends on me, but I have a big setup and I use them all because I want the versatility and I want to be able to customize all of my waxing to each individual. So like we might use pink on his eyelids. I'll use this because this is going to get the majority of it. But if I have to go back and pull some fine ones, then I'll switch, definitely, just to customize. But if you're looking for all, like if you only want a couple, then the kit that you received is actually perfect. It covers the whole ground.
And Julia, if I can, I'd like to add a little bit to that from what I've learned in my experience. Look at that. As Marge is saying, and Marge is that person that's a professional. And I always tell people, it's your professional judgment. There are various wax lines out there that have 50 types of different waxes. Do you need 50 different types? I don't think so. But we have the bases covered with the 8 from soft and hard. And it's really a matter of professional opinion and that consultation that you have with that client. And then obviously temperature in the room, the client's body temperature, the client's skin, the client's hair. So there's a variety of things that you need to take into consideration of which wax is going to be best. And obviously, as Marge is using all different 8, she knows which wax is going to perform best on this young man. So I hope I enlightened a little bit on how you decide on a wax.
It's absolutely, he's absolutely correct. A professional evaluation of the skin on your client, and then professional preference is also included in that.
And then also, Marge, I know you're probably going a little bit slower right now because you're explaining each one to us, but how long does this typically take you in a regular service?
For like this whole beard waxing face thing, not more than an hour for sure. And that's with, I'm explaining it. We're talking about the type of skin and hair. I'm not doing that with my client. You're just in there and you're doing it. So I would say on an average, you could probably have that done in a half an hour.
Okay.
45 minutes tops, and that includes the nose, the ears, the neck, the beard. Now, it depends on their pain threshold. He obviously has a high one. So it also depends on how fast you can go with your client. And positioning, Did I answer the question?
Yes, you did. And one thing I've noticed also about the hard wax is it sets up fairly quickly. It doesn't take a really long time to set up. It's almost as immediately as you lay it down, and a couple seconds extra it can be ready to remove, which is really nice.
Yes, it does go fairly quickly. I'm taking my time just so that you all can see how you can apply it. Now with the hard wax flex, you want to go, depending on which hair is going up and down. His is kind of circular in this area. So you can do this if you like, but you want to encapsulate that whole area. Can you take bigger sections than I am? Yes, but again, what is your proficiency with the pull off? You
Mhm.
want to make sure that you're not getting too big of a section, more than you can handle or correctly pull off of there without breaking the hairs off. Because we wouldn't want them to get folliculitis. Which can happen if you're breaking the hairs off beneath the surface. Now see, if you pull too soon, this can happen, but see how much flex it has? It has a lot. So you can just place it back down, wait another couple of seconds, and then pull it again.
Marge, we have another question while we're waiting that to set up.
Yes.
Oh, okay, hold on. Scroll back up. It says she currently has a 14-year-old boy who she waxes his lips and brows. He doesn't want to have to shave. She says she can use the blue hard wax on his brow. However, for his lip, the hard wax doesn't work well. So she has to use a strip wax, but he would much prefer for pain level to use a hard wax. She's tried 2 different hard waxes, neither picked up enough hair. Would you suggest the Gold Flex or the Keratite for the male lip wax?
Did you say that he's 14?
Yes.
Okay, so his hair is not quite developed into his hormonal man hairs per se. So I would probably try the Keratite.
Okay.
Because it might be finer, the bulb might be smaller. I don't know if I saw a picture and I could actually feel the hair to see if it was really resistant or if it was a little smoother. The strip wax is fine, but you're absolutely right. You're going to have less pain with like the Keratite. If she's used the Gold Flex and the blue and neither one of those remove it completely, then I would definitely use the Keratite.
I believe she hasn't. I think she's used other blue wax from a different brand and she's tried others. I don't think she's tried the gold or the blue flex from this brand. So you might definitely want to try. Okay, yes, the finer hair never picks up well on anyone with super fine hair. So yeah, maybe try the Keratite.
Yeah, and I will tell you that this, like the Keratite is, I don't know, it's a beautiful product, one, and it does more than you think it'll do. I have some clients that have the hormonal hair for women on their chin, and believe it or not, and I'm just going to show you the versatility of it. This is quite short, and I told you he has coarse hair, but this will pick up some of the coarse hair if you know how to apply it and how to work the product itself. A lot of times it's to remember to go against and then come back down with the hard wax to encapsulate it. If it doesn't remove it, then you either need a weak, like you either need a stronger wax or a weaker wax, one of the two.
Compliments to your videographer. She's doing a great job.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's the lovely Hadley.
Now
Unbelievable.
look,
Hadley.
that's the Keratite.
Wow.
The Keratite.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Isn't that beautiful? Now,
So,
you can see here, it even pulled out the little pieces that are on the inside of the hair follicle that holds the hair. So the papilla and the bulb have all been removed and it's still sitting there. So I would try this wax if this one isn't working for her, because it'll do more than you think.
so Kelly and Julia, are you as impressed as I am?
We already knew how fabulous it was, Marco, but yes.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Seeing the beard hair like that, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, because I have not seen this. So I'm like, I'm sure when I watch myself back in video, I'll be watching myself like how amazed I am.
Well, a lot of estheticians, I feel like this education is so important because a lot of estheticians don't do male beard facial waxing. It's a service that's not offered a lot. So this is definitely really important to educate our estheticians on that it's definitely possible and it has great results.
Yeah, and I
Awesome.
don't know if you can see how beautiful his skin is down here, but
Yeah.
it is just simply beautiful. So I'm gonna go back in with the Keratite and just kind of hit the edges up on that area. I mean, we can't underestimate the things that we have as tools. We just have to learn how to work with them in order to be more proficient. And so I would recommend, if you have worked with the tools that are in your kit and it's not quite what you expected, then get a couple of the other ones. You can definitely use them in other situations or areas. Hadley, you're doing a great job. Oop. Now that's a boo-boo right there, but I have one that's a little bit more formed, so we'll use that. So you guys are able to see the pictures and they look good. Look at that. I mean, it really does a great job, but it does an equally great job on the fine hair. All right, so also too, I want to just demonstrate a little bit. Now you'd like it real thin on this, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just a little thin line right here on the mustache, just so I can give him a little bit of a life. I like to use the batik when we're working in a smaller area, creating, some dimension and some line. Yeah, what percentage in your place are you doing nail waxing currently?
Well, I think the estheticians who are in this class would have to answer. Can we get a thumbs up or put a yes in the chat for anyone who is already currently offering this service? I think it's pretty new. I know most of my clients don't offer it.
Okay, that's good to know. So we're all learning something. Hopefully you're getting something out of this class that you didn't know before.
Yeah, right now only Brazilians. I think that's generally, what most of our clients offer.
Oh yeah, that looks great.
And look at how nice that looks.
His skin also looks so exfoliated and so much brighter and clear. It's like glowing. It looks super nice.
Yes, it's very nice. Okay, we're gonna move over to the other side. I'm gonna pause it and move over.
Okay, yeah, we have like eyebrow, lip, Brazilian. I do several male ear and nostril waxing. Yeah. Oh, your camera turned off, Marge.
Oh, it's off? Okay, hold on just a moment.
I think it's just your video on the.
Are we back on?
Yeah.
It happens.
I don't know what happened.
No worries. Sometimes Zoom can be a little funky.
How are we doing for time, ladies?
We are 12:10, so we have about 20 minutes left.
Okay, so now this is where we're gonna pick up the pace a little bit now. How do you feel about that?
That's perfect. And if anyone has any questions, now's the time to shoot them to us. I would love to be able to offer beard waxing on all my male clients. Awesome.
Well, that's the goal after this, that you'll feel confident.
Let me get in here. Okay, can you sleep on that?
And then definitely take advantage of Marge, because if we have not figured that out yet, Marge has done this for a while. She's also a barber. She's also a cosmetologist. She's very well versed, very knowledgeable, and obviously very friendly and helpful.
Yes.
We do have a question, Marge. Everyone loves your wax warmers. She wants to know where you can get the wax.
Well,
your wax warmers.
Currently you can't get my wax warmers because they're very old and out of supply. I'm waiting for Marco for my new ones, actually.
Okay, perfect. So we'll have them as soon as Naturaverde launches them. You'll be able to get them from California Skincare Supply. And just so you know, while she's going, we're going to be planning several more classes with Marge and Marco. I know we're going to do a class on the new roll-on wax. If you have anything that you would really love to learn, this is a good time to shoot us in the chat so we can plan that for you.
And then we have a question on the side of his face. Can you show how you're holding taut the neck?
Oh, okay. When I get down there, absolutely. But I can show you now. So I propped his neck up on the pillow super tight. So because he's thin, and then when I hold the skin on the neck, it's kind of the same thing with the thumb and the finger. I pull down like this, and then I go in like that. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Be careful not to touch the, like arteries, because you don't want to cut the blood flow off to their head, but not holding it that hard, but pulling it down and then applying pressure after it's pulled. Did that get the description you want looking for?
Yeah, I think that was a great description. And then we did have a question, a better Brazilian for our next class. So we'll definitely keep that in mind. Yes.
Yeah.
You can always perfect
I
it.
don't know if I signed out for the Brazilian, but Marco will get with me if he's needing me to do that.
Most definitely, because that's another thing I have learned, that it's amazing because the schools really don't teach Brazilians, and as the person wrote in the comments, people learn how to do Brazilians by watching YouTube videos that can be dangerous, or
very dangerous.
doing themselves and learning from trial and error.
Right. Feel like that could just be a little sharper. The nice thing about this is that you can also use it all in a line if you're trying to get it in a little bit closer. And I have found that it does pick up the hair. So.
And how many times a month would you recommend a client getting waxed? Like a facial beard wax? Would it be like
Once a month?
every 4 weeks?
Yeah, once a month.
Okay.
Is good. Or now here's the key. We need 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch on the face. So when they get that, for them it could be a week.
Okay.
For others it could be 4. So you kind of also have to keep that in account.
And what do you charge for this service?
Looks like we're frozen.
I know.
Marco, are you frozen too?
Yeah, Marge, can you hear us? Something happened. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see if they're figuring it out while I call
There we
them.
go.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, there we go.
What would you, Marge, what would you charge for this entire service? Brows, nose, ears, beard?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know what is your price point for your eyebrows right now in your area.
Usually around 25 to 30, and then like a Brazilian, depending on the esthetician, is like 65 to 85.
Okay, so what I'm going to tell you is that pricing in my area will be different than yours. Just because I would not. Okay, so for instance, my Brazilians are 75. And then if they're on a maintenance program, it's 50. But if you're talking about a man's beard, I'm telling you right now, all of this is money. So I would say somewhere around the range of $75 to $100.
Okay.
More probably, but he's not as dense as some others. So mine would say 75 to 100 and up, depending on the presentation. So you've got to think about it. How much would you charge for the ears, the brows, the nose, the all of that has to be added into that. So depends on what you feel like you're worth.
Okay.
And what you want to make in an hour.
Yeah.
And Marge, before you continue, and maybe it's me, if we could see his right face before you finish his left to see the difference. Look at that. Okay, now the other side. Wow.
We're seeing mainly you, Marco. Because when you talk,
It's on speaker view.
Oh, yeah, because the speaker view. Sorry,
No
cut
worries.
up.
Could you do that one more time, Mark? So Marco needs to
Oh,
say,
sure.
we can, there we go. Yeah.
And
Perfect.
Marco, you're impeding your view.
It's part of my challenge in life.
That's okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna be on that side, so scoot it a little.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, in case client have more hair, so what we that case what we do?
Well, if they come in and their hair is longer, are you asking me longer or denser?
Both.
Both. Okay. So if the hair is longer, then you're going to have to trim it back because you don't really want to do more than 1/4 of an inch. So they have trimmers that already have like a 1/2 inch guard on it. You'll have to trim it back in order to make a good one. If you leave it too long, it can cause, breakage, irritation, folliculitis, those kinds of things that you don't want to really get involved with.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Denser the hair, the thicker the product needs to be. The less dense, the less you'll need to use.
I also want to point out that the hard waxes do come in 2 different sizes. So the size you guys did receive is the can. If you find that you love this wax, then you can get the beads, which is a bigger bag, right there.
yeah, with the
And Mark, that's another thing I've learned, Julia, that sometimes people aren't aware of the advantage of the beads. So Marge, being that you're a high volume waxing type of person, do you mind sharing the advantage of the beads?
Well, the advantage is that your can is going to run out before you run out of clients. And so the advantage is that you can add as little or as much as you need in order to continue on. Let's say you get down to a half and you got someone coming back in, you can throw a couple of those beads in there and then continue waxing throughout the day. And for me, I need a larger load. I can't go with just a can. I like to get the can and then refill it.
And then we did have a question. Can you wax the head? Her husband shaves her head and he has problems with the back of his head. Can you wax the head?
I have waxed a head before. I will tell you that there is more hair in 1 square inch on the head than there is on the face, and that it is painful. But yes, you can. So if it's her husband and he's not going to shoot her, then feel free to do that. Yeah, I have done the head. It is a lot more painful, especially if they have, hair. A Okay, so do you see where I pull this down? And then pull this up.
Wow.
That's a very, it's doing a great job. It sure brightens the tattoos too, doesn't it?
Yes.
Then we did get another question in regards to the zinc oxide and lavender wax. What is the difference between your brand and the satin smooth?
Well, it's made differently. First of all, it has microcrystalline in it, and their gem waxes are the only ones that have that in there. Two, we're using coconut oil, shea butters, and botanicals, so that allows for a better, smoother application. Anything to add to that, Marco?
Well, I like speaking the truth without causing any damage. Naturaverde Sodico is who used to make the satin smooth wax. So it was a wax manufactured in Italy. If you get a new can of satin smooth, you will see it is no longer made in Italy. It is made in the United States. And when it comes to wax, the best place to get wax is basically Italy, and then you have France and Spain. But we provide 80% of the wax around Europe through Sodico. And then we're using more natural organic ingredients. We're more available at a better price.
Yes, and I would have to agree with that. I didn't know how far we were, able to say that. It is not developed in Italy anymore. They're using it. It's coming from the GG factory now. And so hence why I am on board with Naturaverde. You get the purest of vegetation in Italy, which is where I want to get the higher quality product for a less price margin.
I hope that answered the question without offending anybody, Kelly.
Yeah, I hope it didn't offend anyone.
And then we do have a hand raise from Donna. Donna, if you want to unmute yourself, you can go ahead and ask the question, or you can ask it in the chat. It's completely up to you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. I'd like to ask if he is a first-time waxer. If not, based on the level of discomfort, would he do it again?
Okay, that question was for you.
Yes, ma'am. I am a first time waxer, and I actually will do it again. It's not painful. I mean, some areas are like around here, but by her putting her hand down and putting pressure on it, it helps a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Now, and I will say the gentleman that I waxed earlier before him, he said the most painful part was underneath his neck where I'm getting ready to wax right here. And he said, although it only stings for, a couple of minutes, and putting the hand there does help. And then I thought maybe he'd never do it again, but he told us before he left that he would probably do it again because he liked the end result. And the fact that he wouldn't have to shave every day. For being a first-time waxer, he's doing an excellent job, isn't he?
Yes. And
Yeah,
depending,
I've seen him flinch.
I know. He is. This is one top cookie right here.
I get waxes all the time, and I still get a little flinch now and then.
Right. Me too. He's doing excellent.
And depending if he's a Prince fan or not, Prince had a record back in the day, Sexy MF. He knows. Yeah, so you started that and you're even better now.
Yeah, it is nice. We're really kind of pushing the time now, so we're coming to the close of this. For those of you who want to see a neck wax, I'm also willing to do that for you today. I just want to kind of cover male waxing because I think that's a lot of marketed area that isn't being gotten by the estheticians. A lot of the cosmos and barbers have it, depending on the state that they're in, of course.
All right, I got to say it. Rose is making me hungry.
Is Rose eating? Bradley, are you getting a commentary on that? Do you get to see everybody eating?
Are you trying to be funny, Rose? Awesome.
All right, now we're gonna have you lean your head back and let me get the underneath perfectly done for you. How has this class been for you? Does it make you feel a little bit more comfortable about waxing men now?
I think it's been excellent, Marge. You've done a great
You've
job.
shown it so well.
Yes, yes. Do you have any marketing tips for male waxing? Another question.
Marketing tips. Well, marketing is more of Marco's area than mine. So I'm gonna turn that over to Marco.
Well, I'm just looking to see if I should order some Popeye's chicken is what I'm doing. But anyhow, and I'm sure Kelly and Julia, being your distributor of choice, can add lots of input there. But I mean, one of the biggest things I've learned, and this is in any business, first off, those of you that are watching this, you are the professional. You are the person that your clients are coming to consult. So depending on what it is that they're doing, just the mere suggestion of, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think if we should give this a try? Male or female, hey, I noticed your brows could use a little touch up. You know, why don't we do that for you real quick? For a gentleman, same thing. Oh, wow, listen, you know what? If I did this beard waxing for you, you're going to have to shave less often and you'll get a nice therapeutic feeling from it too. I mean, these are the things that are just coming to mind here. So again, Kelly and Julia, these are your clients. You know even better than I do in your area, I am assuming.
Yeah. One thing I would add to that. Oh, sorry, keep going, Marge.
I said how I like to kind of introduce it, and it's only because I have a different setup. Like I said, you know, Marco said I'm a barber and a Cosmo. What I will do is I will say I got a gentleman that comes in for a back facial. With your back facial today, complimentary this wax, you know. So we might start with the eyebrow. And then the next time I'll say, well, you know, we can do your neck wax. And if you're getting your back and your eyebrows done today, we'll give you your, you know, your nose free or something. You just kind of have to introduce them to it. As an add-on service, or we're having a special today only type of deal. I don't think specials are always the way to do it. I think there's a lot of advertisements that can be done in-house through the wives or the girlfriends, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that was almost exactly what I was gonna add about the wives. A lot of my clients, you can target the wives, and then they'll eventually bring their partner or husband in, and you can use that. And then Yelp and photos on your website will be helpful. Oh, perfect. Word of mouth is always great. I've been telling my clients about this class, and they already have referrals for their husbands and boyfriends. My son is already anticipating his beard wax. He's 31 and loves to have smooth skin. So yeah, there you go. Thank you, Rhonda.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
And I think, services requested by men are growing rapidly. And once they know that you're offering this service, word of mouth is going to be super helpful.
And that's exactly it. I got this client kind of like through word of mouth. And I think if they go, like the gentleman that was here earlier today, he said he was going to go and tell one of his redneck friends that he's going to absolutely love it. And so hopefully I'll have him as a future client or model for, the upcoming classes that me and Marco will work out together here.
Yeah, and of course, as everyone knows, social media, Instagram, Brozillion, there's so many ways that you can put twists on things that will definitely pique interest and grow your business.
Yeah, definitely that.
And can you tell us the benefit in using a polymer hard wax versus a non-polymer hard wax?
I think it's the flexibility of the product. I want to say, again, personal preference, professional preference, and then the abilities to customize what you're doing. Does that answer the question?
It does. Yeah, that's my
Okay.
personal experience too. Polymer hard wax seems to be a lot more flexible, and you can do a lot larger strips with it without it breaking. I've seen some non-polymer hard wax that cracks a little bit, and I've never experienced this with like the gold flex or the blue. So I really love that.
So we're using the Naturaverde Soothe. And what I like about this is that it has the shea butter in it. And it's going to be nice and soothing and moisturizing to the skin. This is our final touch right here for all of the areas that we've done on his face. And then if you'd like to see the neck, we can do the neck. I don't know what our time allows, but this is actually all of the face today.
Okay.
I think we're good since we said this was going to be an hour and a half.
Okay,
and
great.
We can incorporate that in our next class.
All right, perfect. Sounds great. All right, so the other thing that I want to tell you just before you guys take off that I forgot to do, and I'm going to have him set up for this. Have you set up for me? When you're working with the nose and the ears, it's important to kind of just put the soothe inside. So it's kind of like the final step. So if you take the soothe and just inside your nose, not too far, just where we waxed. I think it's an important step that a lot of people might forget. And that brings the porosity down. And then we like to do the same thing for the ear. Just so that they don't have any extra pain when they leave and everything's moisturized and soothed before they leave. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions.
If anyone has any last minute questions, I also wanted to remind everyone that the entire brand is 15% off. You just want to use the code WAX OFF at checkout. And that is good through Friday. And we have another question. Allergies issues only apply to the nose, not the ears, correct?
Only to the nose, right, not the ears, absolutely. I'm gonna go back in here with a little mirror here, a couple little spots that are kind of stuck to the skin here.
Well, that was an excellent class.
And he looks excellent and was a great model. Tell him thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. He was a great model.
Very Thank you so much, Marge. You're an excellent educator, and I so appreciate you spending your afternoon with us. And thank you, Marco. We love Naturaverde, and we're so happy to distribute it. And a newsletter will go out, and we can send a copy of this to everybody that's attended. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thumbs up. Great job.
Bye, guys.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.